Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Uh, Welcome to Health Information System subject. This time we will discuss with you about the Lab 3, and the Lab 3 is a continuation from the previous lab or activity where you need to develop the healthcare information system right from the beginning until you deliver the working application. Yep. So last lab we asked you to model the requirement, right? So you need to define uh, the user requirement or system requirement for a minimum viable product for his care or healthcare information system, HIS. And then after you define the requirement, or you modeling the requirement using use case and also the flowchart or activity diagram for getting the understanding of the system that you want to propose or you want to uh, develop, become a solid application. So the software development lifecycle cannot move away. Okay, any system that you want to develop, so you must maintain or you must follow the systematic development life cycle or system development life cycle. We call it SDLC. But the innovation here, we are not following the waterfall. We uh, as much that we can, we try to implement the agile concept, which is we cut some of the process. Yeah. So from the requirement, and then we model the requirement, and then today what you need to do is from the use case that you describe using the use case diagram. So each of the use case you need to uh, develop or construct the use case description specification. Okay, and then after you describe the use case description or specification using the template I provide here. Okay, this is template. So every use cases, so you need to describe using by describe the use case purpose, recognition, post cognition, who is the user use or the actor, and then describe the primary flow, alternative flow, if your use case uh, if your use case involve the alternative or exceptional flow. Okay, you just follow this template. Okay, for each of the module or each of the subsystem, so you need to describe the use case. Okay, so sub module or module become use case. Okay, next step, what you need to do in this lab is to determine and define HRS data requirement. So that means you do the start to develop the your ERD, yeah. So entity relationship diagram. And before you go to the detail of database design, so you need to understand the business process, and then from that you know what is the data requirement. Data requirement means what is the information required to be stored and retrieved uh, for the system that you develop. So in this case, healthcare information system. So there are three type of three main of the data uh, framework. Yeah, we call it passion hair record framework. Okay, so we will discuss later. Okay, and thirdly, after you define the HRS data requirement, so you need to do a HRS data model using ERD and produce the data structure or data dictionary. Yeah, each of the identity, of course, should have attributes. Yeah, every attributes you need to describe what kind of data type of the attribute, what type, how long, what is the length of the data required to be stored. Okay, and then what is the primary key or secondary key that used uh, for fast search or retrieve the data. Okay, this is three objective of this lab. Okay, first, construct the use case description or specification. Second, define HRS data requirement. So how you want to uh, reveal or determine the HRS data requirement. Of course, I taught you last time in the BITP 223, right? So from the primary flow, you will discover the entity, yeah, controller, right? UI, yeah, border. So that become candidate data type or data entity for your application. So that's why I ask you first before you uh, produce your data structure for the HIS. So you need to describe the primary flow for each of the use case. So from that, you will get the basic entity, yeah, or entity will become a candidate of your data table. Okay, so first you need to identify certain HRS module. Okay, like I said to you, and I asked you to focus on the MVP module or product, minimum viable product for his. At least you got this three or six module to be developed and to be used by the clinic. At least clinic can be used the application. Okay. So for this class, I don't ask you to build a complete system, very complex system. But this is the six module is a MVP product for his, yeah, very minimum. Okay. So what you need to do is before you come out the use case description. So maybe this is a tip that how you want to structure your mind, yeah, in order to come out a very solid use case. So this is a decomposition diagram, yeah, about healthcare information system. So you decompose the system into several pieces, yeah. Maybe this is a main system and then this is a subsystem. System administration. System administration means the system setting, yeah. So you manage the application, such as you provide user administrations, yeah. You provide the lookup table management. Okay, any data that you want to create for reference or must become a master data. So uh, you don't need to what they call it, hard coding into your program, yeah. So everything is using a database approach. Okay. Okay, and then you have PMS, let's say this is a patient management, and then you have CIS module, you have pharmacy, you have billing, you have ADT, for example, ward management. Okay, try to decompose the system into a low level. Okay, this is high level. So under system admin, maybe you can put another sub module. They call it manage user, for example, manage data lookup table. Okay. Patient management. Okay, you can decompose another sub module. They call it registration, patient registration. Okay, view patient information. Yep. Maybe manage employment, manage next of kin, and etc. Okay. So you need to decompose as detailed as you can. Okay, this is an example. This is a high level that I provide to you to give the idea. And then after you certain your module to be developed, then you go to the system requirement model. Okay, so this call it system requirement model. Mean the user requirement you combine with the ICT requirement. So this called use case specification. For each of the use case, so you need to describe, yeah, in terms of their purpose, their condition, when this use case is started, who trigger it, who use it, by describing the actor, and then flow of event. Okay, start from the beginning, how the let's say this one is a patient view admission, yeah, how the actor view the patient admission. So it should begin with the something, right? So you start something, and then you try imagine how the process of the view patient admission. Okay, I think this how to write the primary flow or use case description is already taught to you in the last subject, yeah, in the last I think last 2 semester. Okay, after you come out the primary flow, of course you will get the entity, yeah, entity. So that entity can be used for your or used for will be used for your HRSERD. So this is entity. Yeah, example, yeah. So you start to model your data. Okay, so this is basic. Let's say patient master information, health condition summary, and visit summary. Then you can expand from this. Yeah, if you look at this the framework of healthcare, the framework of patient health record. So basically the patient health record got 3 components. Yeah, patient master information, health condition summary, and visit summary. So this is a core of patient health record. Yeah. So what is a patient master information? It include, yeah, demographic information. Demographic means the biodata of the patient. Yeah. Birth record. Yeah. Information about your births. Next of kin record, medical insurance record, employment record, family health record, and organ donor record. If you have a record history, you donor one of your organs, so it put or it keep in uh, your donor record in the patient master information. So this is health condition summary and visit summary. This is a dynamic, yeah, dynamic and semi-dynamic information, patient information. So health condition summary is, for example, obstetric record. Okay, so this is when a woman got married, yeah, so of course they will pregnant, and the information of the pregnant and also the births will be recorded in their patient health record. Yeah. Procedure record, if you got any accident, for example, if you have any minor or major operation, so the procedure will be record. Yeah. Allergy is a semi-static. Yeah. Sometimes your allergy can be cured, or sometimes your allergy is permanent. Yeah, this is disability record. Maybe you lost your hands, so consider you disability. Yeah, one of the category of people which doesn't have a hand. Okay, health screening record, social history, chronic long term disease. Okay, so this is a semi-static or very rare. This record will be updated. Yeah, and then another record of health, a patient health record is a visit summary. Visit summary that every time you go to the hospital or you visit or get consultation with the doctor, so the record will be keep, yeah, upkeep in your patient health record. So that called electronic medical record, yeah, or long-term medical record. Okay, what is inside of visit summary? So they will record your visit date, visit time, encounter date or time, and symptom information, vital sign, sign, yeah, sign, complaint, yeah, sign is a complaint, diagnosis, medication, test procedure, health any health plan record that you or doctor keep or record for you, plan for you. Okay, this is a example of a main patient health record. Then what you need to do is you model the data. Start with the high level one. Okay, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you expand your ERD with the demographic record, birth record. Okay, maybe procedure record, allergy record, disability record, uh, visit record, encounter record. So this is all entity. Yeah, we call it entity. It's a high level of the data requirement. Okay, so you can extend your ERD, yeah, by putting here, by adding the entity. Let's say next of kin. Yep. So you add what you can call it, family history. Yeah. Okay. So one person can have many next of kin, right? Maybe one man can have more than one wife. Okay, and family history. So let's say his father and mother got long-term diseases. Yeah, so we can put one too many relationship. I think this is familiar with you. I don't need to teach you how to do a data modeling. Yeah, so I just want to show you how to uh, do a step by step. Yeah, uh, in developing your system. Start from the requirement. Now you start to elicit the data requirement in order to develop the data table. Yeah. or data structure. Okay, after you develop your ERD, you just copy into your or paste into your main document. Yeah. Okay, so when you model your data requirement, and then every entity you need to describe here, yeah, another step, which is you develop the SRS dictionary, the SRS data dictionary, which is involve the entity and attribute description. Yeah, so we take patient master information from the main patient health record framework. Yeah, patient under patient master information, we have demographic, birth record, next of kin, and etc. So this consider entity, and then you need to determine and define their attribute. Okay, so start with the demographic information, and then you start to define the attribute. So this is attribute. Okay, describe the purpose of the attribute. Yeah, for example, PMI number, patient master index number. What is the patient master index number? So PMI number is a unique person identification number used throughout life for healthcare purpose. Okay, so why you need to describe this attribute? Because when you pass this, when you develop the program specification, and then the programmer or your colleague want to know what is the PMI number, so they understand from the documentation. So they will refer the documentation. What is the purpose of name? Name is the name of the patient. Okay, let's say IC number. So IC number is a uh, national registration identification number for Malaysian. Yep. What is the birth date? Date of birth. Okay. What is a sex? Sex is the gender of the patient. So you need to define. Okay. So don't waste the time by repeating this process uh, s- too ideal. Yeah, don't go very ideal where you start from uh, identify the attribute, and then you describe the attribute, and then you leave it the data type and length. So this is agile. This is agile and repeat, RAD they call it, repeat application development. So when you know that attribute is the varchar, so you can define it directly here. It is a varchar or alphanumeric. So you can imagine that the number is 30, for example. So put it the length. Yeah, spontaneously you define their data type and also the length. So the process become fast. Yeah, rather than you define the attribute and description only, and then the next cycle, or then you start to define the data type and the length of the attribute. So it become late. Yeah, very slow. So we cannot speed up the process of software development. Okay, so complete the each of the entity with the attribute. So, and then you go next entity, next of kin. What is the attribute of next of kin? So you repeat this format. So next of kin, for example, and then define the attribute. Yeah, define the data type and also the length. And this is column to give a remarks, for example. Yeah. So what I mean here, this is example, alias name is other name of the patient, and remark here PST PSDD standard length. So this is a public sector data dictionary standard by the MIMOS. Yeah. So in Malaysia we have a standard. If you want to define the name, so the name should be 80 bit of the record, yeah, of the field. Okay, let's say IC number, the maximum length is 12. So this information also get from the PSDD, public sector data dictionary. Okay, so let's say a blood type, for example, where this information came from the HL7 standard, international standard, that they give a code of the blood group, which is A, B, and O only. So they don't use X, Y, Z or other words. Yeah. So these two character of code will be used across the system. Yeah. Okay. If you don't have any remarks, so just blank it first. Yeah. By time you can update the remarks. Let's say you want to give a comment about this attribute. Maybe this attribute is not confirmed, so you just put not confirmed, or to be determined later, to be confirmed later. Yep. So at least you have a column to write something, to say something. Okay, I think that's it uh, for the activity in lab 3. Yeah, in this lab. Okay, so what you need to do is you construct his SRS use cases description, or SRS use cases specification, construct the ERD of SRS, 5 or 6 module, yeah, you define previously, and then you define the entities and attribute for each of the module. Yeah. So let's say you have 6 module. Of course, let's say 6 module. Each module got 5 entities, so you have 30 entity and 30 candidate of table. Yep. Okay. After you define, okay, you define or you construct your HRS data dictionary. So the next step, so to speed up the process of development, so don't wait for the next lab. So what you need to do is, when you got this data structure, consider this is 90% or 80%, uh, 80% or 90% of your data structure is certain. Yeah. So what you need to do is you go to the MySQL, for example, and then you start to create the table. Yeah. For example, you need to install the MySQL. So here I got MySQL front, so I can access to my cloud. Okay, so this is a table already created. Yeah, but you use the Please use the MySQL, very light database. So what you need to do is you start to create the table. Yeah, create a new table. Create a new table, uh, and then once you already have the table, then you can start the uh, programming. Yeah, you can start to continue. You can start to develop your application. Okay, I cannot give you this information because this is private. So this is an example of data table. Yeah, table that involved in uh, our projects. So we got a lot of table here. Yeah, this is healthcare information system table. uh, I think enough for you to develop 5 or 6 module, but this one is involved hundred of table. Yeah. uh, okay, I think I just give you the guide, yeah, how to start your development of the HRS fast, uh, where we can skip a certain process. Yeah. So now you can see that first step, second step, and third step, you you can continue or you can start with your application development. Yeah. Once you create your table, yep. Once you create your table, and then I think your team can start the application development. Okay, I need to close. This is my cloud. Yeah. Okay, class. That's it. So if you got any question how to develop or to design your database and also your use cases, so write in the comment box. Yeah. And then I will reply uh, as fast as I can. Okay. And what you need to do, you submit this deliverable by Monday. Yeah, Monday night before 12 midnight. Okay, see you later.